Guys, welcome back to another video with me. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Chloe, and if you're not new, hello and welcome back to another video. Happy New Year, happy 2026. I am very glad that you are here joining me on this video. So, as you gathered by the title, this week's video is my Good Spirits by B.K.Borison book review. So let me open my book review book to the page so we can talk about this book in detail. So first of all, let's look at this book in design terms. This is a Works exclusive edition, so we have a sprayed edge with poinsettia, and it's blue on the bottom and blue on the top, but I really like how it is the same colour as the cover. The poinsettia is red, it just matches, it's shiny, and we have our main characters on here. Like, this cover is so cute. If you have seen other covers, like there is a light pink version of this which I think looks nice, but at the same time blue is very wintry, so I like the blue cover and I like the sprayed edge, and I'm very glad that I managed to get the sprayed edge because the sprayed edge is very nice. So in total, this book has 370 pages. It's a fiction. It's a Christmas/seasonal romance. It's kind of like a Christmas Carol kind of modern day thing. I finished this on the 4th of January. I don't know when I started reading it, but I know that I started reading it in December because I was hoping to get my festive reads done in December, but I have had a lot of... Sorry, I just had to pause the video because my mum called me. So, yes, the life of a person. Sometimes your mum calls you when you're filming. Anyway, back to where we were. So, Good Spirits by B.K.Borison. Now, I bought the First Time Caller sprayed edge as well, so these are my only two books by B.K.Borison that are sprayed, and these are the only two B.K.Borison books that I own. So I think if B.K.Borison releases any more books that are in sprayed edges, I will probably get them because I would want to complete the set in sprayed. I am the kind of person who needs, if they've started a series in sprayed, has to finish it in sprayed. I've done that with the Pine Ranch, I think it's the Pine Ranch, the cowboy romance that I've looked at before on this channel, like the Riding High and all of that, the pink, the purple, the blue and the green sprayed edges. I know that there is a new book coming out in that series that's orange in sprayed, so I have to get that one because they all match. Like, all of my Frida McFadden books aren't in sprayed edge, but I think I might get her latest one, Dear Debbie, in sprayed, because Frida McFadden doesn't really have a series that's sprayed, so I don't mind getting a sprayed edge for Frida McFadden. But B.K.Borison, to me, I have to get all of her books in sprayed or I'm not getting it. I know that this is in a series, I think it's called Ghosted. And I think that there is another book coming out. I don't know if it's later this year or early 2027. I will have to do more research on that, and if we do a review on this again, or if we do come across this book again, I will talk to you about that then. But I know that there is Ghosted Book 1, and I know that this is a series because it says it on Goodreads. But yes, so I thought I would rate this book a 5-star read. One, because I couldn't really pick any faults with any of the characters. I couldn't find any faults with the story itself, and the book almost made me cry. It didn't, but it almost did. And that when you have a story that is very hard-hitting, it makes me want to rate it really high because it means that it's given the reader impact. So, yes, 5-star read for me, the first 5-star read of 2026, and it's the first book that I read for 2026. So, we're off to a great start. This book was published in 2025. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yes. So I thought the book was so cute. It was a holiday read. It was sad in some areas, and that helped because it made the book grow in a different way. And the book gave similar themes and ideas to A Christmas Carol. It was more modern day. However, it did have a few twists that didn't make it same as the story of A Christmas Carol. And I was glad that the story of Christmas Carol was mentioned within this book because they did bring it up. We have our character here, Nolan, and he is the ghost of Christmas past. And we have our character here, Harriet, who is the girl that he's haunting. And so she kind of says, oh, it's kind of like a Christmas Carol thing. And it's kind of ironic that the story is kind of got a Christmas Carol theme. And she's mentioning that. It kind of gives that humorous aspect to the characters that you wouldn't normally see. Also, it wasn't along the same storyline as A Christmas Carol. I was a bit worried when I read the back, because on the back it says, he is the ghost of Christmas past, but she's not exactly Scrooge. So when I read that, I'm like, okay, it's going to be like a modern take on A Christmas Carol, but it wasn't. It was different. It did have the ghost of Christmas past in it, but it had Nolan as that. And it didn't feature anything else that related to A Christmas Carol besides the Ghost of Christmas Past and a mention of the Ghost of Christmas Present and all of that, and going back into Harriet's past and seeing some of her memories. That was it. Which I liked because obviously it's not A Christmas Carol. We want something different, and it was different. So let me read the blurb. So this is also shiny. So it says, he's not the ghost of Christmas past, but she's not exactly Scrooge. Nolan Callahan intends to spend this holiday season exactly like every other, haunting the terrible people of Annapolis in his aimless existence as the ghost of Christmas past. Harriet York is a good person, or at least she tries to be, a people pleaser to her core. She always does what's expected of her. So when Nolan is assigned the sweeter than candy canes antique shop owner for his holiday haunting, neither of them have any idea why. To escape one another, Harriet and Nolan must unravel the threads that bind them together, all by Christmas Eve. Hand in hand they uncover each other's past, but why is it that Nolan doesn't want to let go? And might Harriet be the key to giving the ghost of Christmas past a future? This story is just so unexpected in how it leads, and I love it. I would recommend this book to people, as I found this an enjoyable read, and I think others would enjoy this too. However, there is sexual scenes within the book and mentions of death. So I know that some things can be triggering to people. So originally I didn't know this had sex in it because it doesn't have trigger warnings in the front, and it doesn't have any indication to me that it is. And Laurie Gilmore put the review, The Perfect Romance, and Hannah Grace put an absolute knockout. So these two authors I was familiar with, so I kind of gave B.K.Borison's book a go based off these reviews, but also these authors, Hannah Grace, I think, has included some sexual scenes in her books. So I had an inkling that this would kind of be a book with spice, but I didn't 100% know. And that's why in my last video, when I think I did this for a TBR Thursday, this is why I mentioned that I didn't know if it had spice or not in it, because I don't. It is a very festive, heartwarming and emotional story, and I think you should give it a read and give it a go. If you don't like spice, just skip over those parts because it doesn't really impact the story much at all, in terms of it's not where she gets pregnant or anything, so it doesn't matter if you skip over them. if she does get pregnant, then you have to understand that there will be sexual scenes in it, but she doesn't, so it's not big. I rated this book a 5-star because I felt like it covered everything. It's tied up all of its loose ends very well. The character development was so good. Harriet's character developed so well, and I really loved the ending. I was thinking that Harriet wouldn't have developed, but Nolan's character really made an impact to her character and helped her improve, and I like that. But also, this is G for my A to Z reading challenge because it's G, and I didn't have a book for G, so I went for this one. So, yes, thank you guys for coming and seeing my Good Spirits book review. If you like this, please give a thumbs up. It's much appreciated. Please subscribe if you so choose. You don't have to, but it'll be easier for you and to me to see my videos and get content out. There are some new updates coming for my channel, and I'm very excited. I'll be taking part in some new challenges. And yeah, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.